What's good, everyone? OJ here, and welcome back to another RPG news video. Today, we've got some amazing information for you guys, but before we get into that, please make sure you hit that like button and also subscribe for all the latest RPG news and info. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get right into this, and we're starting off hot with Monster Hunter Rise version 3.0. So version 3.0 update for Monster Hunter Rise is officially out now. It dropped on May 27th. Capcom has recently announced at the Monster Hunter digital event. This 3.0 update adds new huntable monsters, the Crimson Glow Valstrax, and also Apex Zinogre, as well as a new ending to advance the story and more. So I'm gonna have the list of things that they've updated to it because it's pretty big when it comes to things. The main additions will be here. So you have new monsters that will appear in the hub quests, new monsters appear in the rampage, new quests will be available, a new combat locale will be available, which is really good to see some new scenery, new weapon trees if it didn't already have enough, armor and layered armor will also be available, new skills and rampage skills will be available. You can change the appearance of rampage weapons using certain materials, but also note the above items will be unlocked when certain conditions are met. They also added new system elements. You got a brand new guild card awards, which will be available, and new downloadable content can be purchased from the Nintendo Switch eShop, but most of this stuff is free. Now, there is a large list of bug fixes and miscellaneous stuff at the base and facility. So once again, the link in the description if you want to see the full thing here. They also have some more stuff like with the monsters and the player. I mean, there's a ton of different changes here in terms of what they've done and what you're going to be able to get. Now, there is a roadmap to what you can expect in the coming months when it comes to Monster Hunter Rise. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So of course, now we have version 3.0, which is great. But then mid-June, there's the Capcom collaboration #1. Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin Palco layered armor Tsukino costume. Then at the end of June, you have version 3.1, which will have more downloadable content and new event quests. At the end of July, you'll have version 3.2, which will have a Capcom Collaboration 2, which they're not naming what that is. A lot have speculated that's going to be the Legend of Zelda armor and Legend of Zelda costumes and stuff like that, so we can only cross our fingers and hope. Downloadable content and event quests as well. And then at the end of August will be version 3.3, which will have a Capcom Collaboration #3, downloadable content and event quests as well. So Monster Hunter Rise tearing it up on the Nintendo Switch. Capcom already announced well more than 6 million players worldwide and just advancing. There's still more people that are just buying this game every single day, and I couldn't be happier as myself, as not a huge Monster Hunter fan before this game, but this one definitely converted me. I've put not as much time as other people. Some people put like 500 hours plus, man, going on 1,000 hours into this game, but for me, 60 hours plus, which I'm almost at like 70 hours, is the most easily that I've put into any Monster Hunter game, and I'm really enjoying the game. I think it's fantastic. So what do you guys think? For those who are already digging their teeth into Monster Hunter version 3.0, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. Now, moving over to the other half of the Monster Hunter digital event that went down recently, we have some new information on Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin. We got the 4th trailer plus some screenshots as well. And is it me, or is this game just looking better and better and better and better as we go along here with these trailers? They have done a phenomenal job with this game, and this could end up being a sleeper hit for the best RPG of 2021 in my opinion. Now, Capcom has released the 4th official trailer for Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin. Here is the latest details from Capcom. The latest trailer for Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin provided fans with their first glimpse of the rage-included light that has suddenly begun infecting monsters around the world. The trailer also teased new story details about the protagonist's connection with Razwing Ratha and the whereabouts of their grandfather, the legendary monster rider Red, and some returning characters from Monster Hunter Stories. While the connection between the Rage Rays, the global disappearance of Rathalos, and the birth of Razwing Ratha is unclear, players can rely upon the assistance of their battle buddy Avina and her monstie Frostfang, who make the return from Monster Hunter Stories to help unravel the mystery. In addition to providing more tantalizing story story details for fans to chew on. The May digital event also provided a first look at how monster riders will collect and enhance their Monsties companions. In order to collect new Monstie eggs, players will have to plumb the depths of any monster dens they encounter out in the field. Monster dens come in all shapes and sizes, with rare dens containing elusive monster eggs, which have the potential for hard-to-find genes. After returning to the stables with new eggs in tow, players can hatch the eggs to discover what new Monsties they've acquired and use the Rite of Challenging feature to transfer unique genes from one Monstie to another. So almost like egg breeding in some way from Pokemon, which is absolutely incredible. By combining genes of the same element or attack type, players can create a team of incredibly specialized Monsties or mix genes from different monsters to create a more versatile Monstie capable of using skills of every attack type and element. So there's definitely going to be a lot of mixing and matching there. So once again, Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin is due out for the Nintendo Switch and PC via Steam on July 9th. And like I stated before, this game is just looking better and better and better every time I see it, and I'm extremely excited to get into Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin. I think this once again could be the sleeper RPG hit of 2021, but I think that based off the promotion and the crossover stuff with Monster Hunter Rise and how popular that is, I think there's going to be a good amount of kickback from the Monster Hunter Rise fans that actually try this one out and make Monster Hunter Stories 2 into a easy multi-million seller when it comes to the sales of the game, because I think Japan's going to be huge for this game. Obviously, Monster Hunter Stories on the DS, that was a little bit more of a low-key release. It was kind of like a new thing. This is the second one here. They dramatically improved the presentation and quality of the game going from the Nintendo 3DS to the Switch, so I think this one's going to work out very well for Capcom, and of course, they're doing a very good job with the game and promoting it. More and more people are saying that they're going to pick this one up now. So, what do you guys think about Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the next topic here, guys, we've got a demo for a game that's going a little bit under the radar, but could be a breakout strategy RPG hit for the Western audience, more so than any other game in this franchise, and that is Disgaea 6. Nintendo of America has officially announced that, guess what? Disgaea 6 demo, it's up on the eShop. So they say this: eager for a taste of explosive netherworld combat? Warm up those zombie knuckles before Disgaea 6 Defiance of Destiny launches on the Nintendo Switch on June 29th, and download the demo on the Nintendo eShop today. So this game is kind of weird because Disgaea has always been known for PlayStation. It was always PlayStation beforehand. There's been some Nintendo stuff before in the past, but it wasn't until the Switch and the shift of the market from what we saw from the PlayStation 4, PS3, the death of the Vita, and what was going on there, that they kind of shifted over, and the sales of Disgaea 5 in the West were very strong on the Nintendo Switch despite having a smaller install base. And I think that's what led to the formulation of this business partnership between Nintendo of America and NIS in terms of what they're doing with Disgaea. And now we actually have Disgaea 6 on the Nintendo Switch. That's going to be a Western Switch exclusive, because in Japan it's on the PlayStation 4 and everything, but here in the West it's only going to be on the Switch, I guess, for quite some time, or maybe for like timed exclusive. I'm not exactly sure what's going on there fully, but either way, it's pretty cool to see more Disgaea. It's a strategy RPG, and this one actually aims to be the most inclusive or most beginner friendly Disgaea game out of all the other ones, and I think they did a good job with it so far from what I can see. So if you're into strategy RPGs, if you like stuff like maybe Fire Emblem or Project Triangle Strategy, Final Fantasy Tactics, games like that, you might want to give Disgaea 6 a chance. It was a free demo on the eShop, and the game has a ton of personality. It's brimming with style, and it's very fun too. I'm actually a Disgaea fan myself. I've played the previous games. I've played Disgaea 5. That one is awesome on the Nintendo Switch. I actually have it. I have some gameplay videos for it. So I'm definitely going to be checking out Disgaea 6 on the Nintendo Switch when it drops, and this demo as well. So what are your thoughts on Disgaea 6, the demo for the Nintendo Switch? Have you checked it out yet? Are you planning on playing the game? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the next topic here, we have some news that shouldn't have been controversial, but I guess it is somewhat controversial, but we're not really going to address the controversy because the controversy is kind of silly. But yeah, big Pokemon news, big RPG Pokemon news. Very excited to talk about this. So Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, we got a launch date for that. And then Pokemon Legends Arceus, we got a launch date for that game as well. And I guess that's where some of the controversy comes in, which is just once again silly. But let's talk about the news first, then we'll kind of somewhat allude to what was going on. So Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl will launch officially for the Nintendo Switch on November 19th worldwide. The Pokemon Company has announced. Now there will be a double pack featuring both versions that will be available, so no surprise there. Now here's an overview of the game via the Pokemon Company. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are faithful remakes of Pokemon Diamond version and Pokemon Pearl version, which were released on the Nintendo DS system in 2006. Whether or not players have explored the Sinnoh region before, they can look forward to this great adventure reborn on the Nintendo Switch. The original story has been faithfully reproduced and various game functions have been colorfully revitalized. Trainers can expect an adventure through the Sinnoh region that feels both nostalgic and fresh. The Pokemon featured in the newly released package designs of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Pokemon Shining Pearl are the legendary Pokemon Dialga and Palkia. Trainers will be able to discover the mysterious connection between Dialga or Palkia and the Sinnoh region during their adventures. So that's fair enough, right? No big deal there. We've heard about that. We know the games are probably going to come in November. Pokemon games always drop in November when it comes to what they want to have before the big holiday season, before Christmas and everything. So no surprise there. Pokemon Gen 4 is actually my favorite gen, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with these remakes, and I can't wait to play it because I love Gen 4. That was a very innovative title for the franchise's history when it comes to like the online and what they did with that and everything with the DS. So really looking forward to seeing how they reinvent that on the Nintendo Switch. But next up is Pokemon Legends Arceus, and apparently this was the controversial thing that they announced a release date for when they said the game would come out, because they already stated the game is going to come out early 2022, and now we have an actual date. So let's get into this. So Pokemon Legends Arceus will launch for the Nintendo Switch system on January 28th, 2022, the Pokemon Company has announced. We also have the box art, the key visual for the game as well, that looks absolutely fantastic, where they just took a page right out of Breath of the Wild's book. But this game is aiming to reinvent itself almost like Legend of Zelda did as well. So here's an overview of the game via the Pokemon Company. In Pokemon Legends Arceus, the Pokemon series takes a bold new direction. Fusing action with RPG elements, the game takes place in the Sinnoh region of the past, long before the events of Pokemon Diamond version and Pokemon Pearl version. As the game's protagonist, the player will set out to create and complete the region's first Pokédex by catching, surveying, and researching wild Pokemon that live there. The cover art revealed here for the first time depicts Mount Coronet towering over the expanse of a bygone Sinnoh region, the setting for the story in Pokemon Legends Arceus. So cool there, right? So they did say before early 2022, and we actually now have a release date for early 2022, which is January 28th, 2022. And that's where some people, I guess, were upset or were saying, oh my gosh, they can't do this, or there's no way the game's going to be ready, even though they haven't seen the newest version of the game. And even though the Pokemon Company hasn't showed us anything from there, they're basing it all off of what we saw earlier in the year, which was based off of footage that was probably from the year before. So they've been working on this game since then, but they would not announce a release date, and I'm pretty confident in this. They would not announce a release date unless they knew they'd be ready by that time. And the reason why I say that is because there's no pressure usually. Some people are saying, oh, well, it's rushed. It's rushed if it's already going to be that soon from when they showed it. But there's no need to rush it because it's not trying to hit before the holiday. Usually Pokemon games are trying to drop, before Black Friday for the kiddos and all that stuff like that. But there is no rush for the holiday. This is after the holiday. So even if they need to take a little bit more time, they can delay this, no problem. They can delay it to February, or they can delay it a little bit more, and it wouldn't really be a problem because there's no holiday deadline to hit at all. So that's why I'm very confident that the game is actually going to shape up very well because of them giving this release date if they didn't make significant progress from the first time that we saw the game and the next time that we're going to see the game, probably at E3 or maybe at a direct later in the year. I'm guessing they'll probably show something at E3 or something before then or something slightly after when it comes to Pokemon Legends Arceus, because they have to promote more of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl and some of the upgrades in that game. So I don't really see any problem here. And at the end of the day, like, if they showed some footage and it was still bad, then I understand what people are saying, but they didn't. It's old footage at this point, and they've got a solid release date in terms of where they want to go with this game and what they're doing, because there's no pressure to announce a release date for this game right now. And if it's ready January 28th, then let it be ready then, and wait for some new footage before we start sitting there and saying that it's the end of the world, you know, when it comes to different things. Also, I want to note here, guys, that Pokemon Legends Arceus and also Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, those have two different developers. So one developer, a completely different development studio, is handling the Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl remakes, while Game Freak is making this. So some people were trying to say, oh, well, these two games are too close to each other. That's how you know that they're rushed. Game Freak rushed it. Well, they're developed by different companies. So it's like, I don't know why that kind of came out too. Pokemon fans will find anything to complain about when it comes to it. Even when they announce a release date for a game, there's some people that still complain even about that. Let's be real here, guys. I wouldn't be worried about it. I'd be excited about it. I think it's going to be really good, and I can't wait till they show off this game next. So what are your thoughts when it comes to Pokemon Legends Arceus release date, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl release dates as well? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the next topic here, guys. We've got some huge news when it comes to the Nintendo Switch Pro, the next Nintendo Switch, when it comes to an enhanced model of it. We have a report, or more like a statement, from industry insider Ms. Emily Rogers, who's talked about this herself on her Twitter page. Now, in a thread about Pokemon Legends Arceus and also Metroid as well, where she speculates, she does respond to somebody in the comment section on Twitter talking about this Nintendo Switch Pro, or this next model Nintendo Switch, and here is what she has to say. I'm confident we're getting a Metroid game this year. Announcement of a new Switch hardware seems imminent as well. So not only did she give us the gem with the Metroid 2D when it comes to it, which I've reported on this channel as well, she also goes a bit further and says, yes, Switch hardware, new Switch hardware is imminent as well. So once again, people are kind of curious about that, talk about, is it the Bloomberg report or what is going on? And she also had this to say, yes, Bloomberg's report was accurate. New screen, upgraded chips, aiming for September/October release. An announcement is imminent. We might be getting news sooner than we thought. So this is very interesting news to see this here, because obviously some people don't believe the next model Nintendo Switch or a revised Switch is even possible, or it's not going to happen. Some people are on the boat that it's happening. Some people have been saying, hey, this has been talking about this now for 3 years or something. It's not going to happen. Nintendo's just going to wait for the next system. I mean, but it does seem there is a lot of smoke here, and I don't think Emily would say this. She hasn't been 100% right with her stuff, but she's been fairly accurate. If you look back at her track record, she's been very accurate with her stuff. So I'm definitely going to give her the benefit of any bit of doubt here. And I feel that since there have been so many reports, there has to be something to this. Maybe it is a revised type of model here. Maybe there is something to it. I don't think it's going to be a powerhouse, and I think that's where some of the dissension between fans are, is that some people think it's going to be some type of huge powerhouse system that's like a PS5 in a portable structure, which that's not going to be that. It's just going to be maybe like a Nintendo 3DS, the new Nintendo 3DS type of jump, but obviously different, right? Because we're in a new age. Obviously, the times are different, technology's different, so it's going to be a better jump, just naturally based on the technology that we do have, because the Switch was already kind of older technology even when it launched. So it makes sense to me when it comes to this stuff right here. Upgraded chips, new screen, September, October release. That is right in the area of what they did with the Nintendo Switch Lite. Remember that, guys? A couple years ago, Nintendo Switch Lite was right in that September type of fallish area, right after the summer. So I would not be surprised if it was at that point. So shout outs to Emily Rogers for this. Obviously, when you say things like this, people definitely like to come after you and say different stuff, and she's been pretty good about ignoring some of the hate out there. So shout outs to her once again. So very good to hear about this. I think that it's time maybe for something that could be a little bit better for us with 4K TVs, because sometimes a few Switch games and stuff like that can be a little bit rough, and I know some developers might want to have a little bit more to work with when it comes to it, and this could provide that. Still think it's going to be able to play the regular regular Switch games, but now you get an option for some higher quality as well, like a PS4 to PS4 Pro. Not saying the power level wise, but just how you can get some nicer options with a PS4 Pro over a PS4, or even like a new 3DS to new Nintendo 3DS, where there were a multitude of games where you get better frame rates, where you get some better options with the new Nintendo 3DS over the regular 3DS. And that was with games like Super Smash Brothers, and that was with games that got faster load times and things like that. So it's very possible here too. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they have to offer and if it does happen, but I'm guessing that it will. Otherwise, she wouldn't have even said this in the first place. There's no need to even do that. So it does seem like it could be sooner than expected. And if you look at it, right, Pokemon Legends Arceus, that was, for some people, announced sooner than expected. I know some people were caught off guard by how early it was. So maybe things are moving along a lot quicker when it comes to Nintendo than people thought. I also want to add in, on top of what Emily Rogers has said, Takahashi Mochizuki from Bloomberg, who's reported on this now for multiple years, has given some more information on what he has to say as well. On Twitter, he said, exclusive, new Nintendo Switch, which would replace the current $299 model, is planned for release in September or October. September through October. Announcement could be imminent ahead of E3. And there you go. So he's also backing up what Emily Rogers had to say, or he's giving his own separate reports based on his sources as well. So what do you guys think about this report? What do you think about what's going on? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the next topic here, guys. Dragon Quest got a huge, amazing event. Bless that translator's heart, man. She was trying as hard as possible. I think she did a phenomenal job. So we will have no Dragon Quest 35th anniversary translator slander in this chat. There'll be none of that. That young lady did a great job, and she did the best that she could, given that it's a conversation that has to translate from Japanese to English with two people casually talking very fast, not talking slow. So very cool there. But anyway, outside of that, there were 6 games announced at this Dragon Quest event, but there were 2 that you guys need to know about. You want the full list of games? Link in the description. But first, we have to talk about Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake announced for consoles, simultaneous worldwide release. This is hype. This is just flat out hype. I love what they've done with this. Let's get into it, what Square Enix had to say here. So publisher Square Enix and developer Amata KK and Team Asano also announced Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake for consoles during the Dragon Quest 30th anniversary special live stream. A release date was not announced, but a simultaneous worldwide release is planned. Now here's a message from the producer himself. Quote, up until now, I've worked on various games such as Octopath Traveler and various Day Life. The HD 2D style we're using combines pixel art with 3D effects to produce a sense of depth and atmosphere like nothing else. Our hope is that by recreating Dragon Quest 3 in this HD 2D style, everyone will have the chance to experience the game through fresh eyes. From adults who played the original back when it was first released to little kids picking it up for the first time. We're aiming for a simultaneous worldwide release on home consoles. Release date has not been decided yet, but when it is, you'll be the first to know. So great stuff there. This is exactly what I would like to see. And I know I've discussed how we shouldn't HD, 2D, Octopath, everything, but I think with Dragon Quest, I think it makes sense more with this game than some of the more classic games that are just like the super big ones, like let's say like Chrono Trigger or like Final Fantasy VI. Like, I get that, and I'm pretty sure that people would want more of these, and I understand, but I think it just works very well for Dragon Quest. So that's just like a whole nother side thing we can talk about. But for right now, I'm hyped about this right here, and that is Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake. I'm very excited about it. I think this is the right call for this game, and that's the reason why I didn't rebuy the games on Switch. I figured that they'd do something else with it, so I wasn't really keen on rebuying the games on Switch and everything, just because look at this now, right? And then they even alluded to maybe saying, hey, maybe we get 1 and 2 and other ones if this one does well. They were blowing the whistle during that stream, so very excited to see what Dragon Quest has in store for us when it comes to this Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake. I think this is a great call by them. It's a great move, and it's huge RPG news. It fits the title. It fits what's going on with my series here with it, man, because this is as big as it gets when it comes to classic RPGs and what fans want. This is exactly what fans were looking for, so I'm very excited to see that it's a simultaneous release worldwide. So Square Enix is learning when it comes to that, so thanks for getting with the time, Square Enix. And on top of that, it's going to be on home consoles as well, so we already know it's probably going to be Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, PC, so very good there. Or at the minimum, probably Switch, PC, and PlayStation. So very good there, man. Very excited, looking forward to it. So what do you guys think about Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D remake? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And moving on to the final topic here, guys, we've got the big announcement, the creme de la creme when it comes to the Dragon Quest 35th anniversary, and that is Dragon Quest 12. The Flames of Fate have been announced, and they're taking big new steps with this game. Looks like it's going to be a little bit more dark, a little bit more gritty. Simultaneous worldwide releases planned. Oof, it just oozes of it's going to be in 2023. It oozes this is going to take a while, but I'm still excited for it because now they're delaying the Japanese release to coincide with the Western release. Because usually what they do is they usually make it to where you can buy it in Japan a year before you can buy it in the West, right? And that's how they get it out sooner. But now they're saying, wait a minute here. The West is important. We are also important too. We shouldn't have to wait a year. And if the game takes an extra year to develop because of the West, then so be it. Because everyone is important here. Not just people in Japan that want to play the game first, but everyone is important here. And you know what? You can thank the Nintendo fans, the PlayStation fans, the PC fans, everyone that went out there and copped Dragon Quest 11. This is for us. So let's freaking go, because we made this happen, guys. Shout outs to Square Enix. They made it happen by making a great game, and we made it happen by showing that we actually support games like this on launch. Not after it's $2 or whatever the case is, or discounted, but actually at launch, going out there and buying it on the PlayStation 4, PC, and the Nintendo Switch. So good stuff there. Now let's talk about it here. So Square Enix officially announced Dragon Quest 12, The Flames of Fate during the Dragon Quest 35th anniversary special live stream. Platforms and release date were not announced, but a simultaneous worldwide release is planned. The game will feature dark, mature content and force players to make various choices and decide their way of life. The series' traditional command battles will also be revamped. So I'm guessing, if I had to guess, this is just a guess on here, and guys, don't take this as the gospel or it's 100%, but if I had to guess, when it comes to Dragon Quest, they're gonna go with the active time battle. That's what I would guess. A little bit of movement, active time battle system, so it doesn't go too far away from turn-based, but then again, it doesn't stray too into the action type of realm. So I'm guessing a hybrid between what they've done before, right? So active time battle, a little bit of movement in there, right? Because they added in movement in Dragon Quest 11. It's still turn-based, but they added in like this fake action that you have in the game. So maybe they take that, modify it a bit more, make it active time battle, and actually make it to where you can position yourself to where it actually does matter where you're positioned and to where you can dodge and stuff like that, but it's still more of that active time battle system that we've seen that give it that turn-based feel. That's what I'm guessing. So it's going to be something new, something innovative, a hybrid type of deal, but that's just a guess. We don't know. I don't think it's going to be full action RPG. I mean, it's possible, but I don't think it's going to be full action RPG. Obviously, it's not going to be the traditional turn-based exactly like they've done before. And I think that if you're going for a worldwide release and you're trying to get a lot of people to buy the game, this is the route that you need to take. You can't just keep doing the same thing, in my opinion. Dragon Quest 11 is great, but I love when developers take chances and try new things. I love when developers take chances and try new things. I don't want the same thing over and over, which people say, I'm concerned, oh, they're changing it. Good. If it sucks, then okay, well, it sucks. Go back to the drawing board next time. Go back to what you did. But chances are it's going to be amazing, right? We can get a Breath of the Wild type of thing, right? So you got to take chances every now and then. And I like this because they've made Dragon Quest games the same way for decades now. It's time to do something different. So I'm hyped. I'm ready. I like the mature dark content, which is funny because somebody asked me about that and I said, nah, probably not. Guess I was wrong on that. So I like the choices stuff too. Maybe Mass Effect type of thing. Maybe, it'd be good if they actually did that as well, where your choices actually matter in the game. Yo, I'd be down for that. So what do you guys think about this? I know this was a huge video. I'm sorry for keeping you guys through all this, but there was just so much information to go over. What do you guys think about all this? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Check out the links in the description. We've got Twitter. Go and give us a follow on there. Stay up to date on all latest gaming news and information. Also, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you can. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you for the next one. Peace.